Tomorrow, or today, depending on when you watch this video, the 2025 Game Awards kick off to celebrate a massive year for games. But 2 years ago, it debuted games like Exodus and the first technical teaser for Hideo Kojima's OD, both of which we hadn't seen more on until just recently in September, and another trailer coming tomorrow for Exodus. We saw the first teaser for Marvel's Blade game developed by Arcane, a teaser for the post-apocalyptic extraction shooter in Exoborn, and plenty more, along with Baldur's Gate 3 winning Game of the Year. But in the closing moments of that show, after previewing so many games that were still so far away, Embark Studios swooped in with a hype trailer for a game that looked to take the beauty of Unreal, the function of DICE's veterans and their game dev skills, and a high-paced, action-packed FPS genre, putting it all together for players for free. The best part, unlike the other games revealed that night, this one didn't require any wait. With that trailer, the game was live for everyone to experience, and 2 years later, 11 arenas and 7 game modes with numerous sponsors, weapons, gadgets, and more added since, the start of Year 3 is off to a wildly promising start with Season 9's launch bringing more to the fold content-wise, but more importantly, also quality of life-wise. Today we're jumping into Year 3 together, but the only question that remains on the table is, can you reach the finals? So, the world's greatest game show is coming along with a little bit more content with Season 9. The biggest of these introductions is the new map, Fangwai City, which is described to be built for a spectacle. Elevated walkways, dense apartment blocks, riverfront views, serene gardens, and towering structures all blended together for the ultimate variety. The latest addition to the arena is built from the ground up with smooth destruction, which is combining everything they've learned from the past 2 years to create a battleground that puts dynamism on the center stage. So, taking everything that we've seen the last 2 years of the destruction and explosive systems we've seen in the finals, and this is the culmination of that, where they have distinct zones with strong individual personalities that draw from multiple real-world locations in China, such as Hong Kong and Shanghai, this creating a playground of variety, as they call it. I think scenically this map looks phenomenal. Again, having a lot of different variation in terms of what you'll see from interior to exterior, some of the different landscapes, offering up some more unique experiences in each of these specific areas around the map. So really cool, I think, to see here with this. And obviously having a new map here with each of the different variations you have that come along with each of those individual maps. Nice to have those all on rotation here coming into the game. We have a new mode of Point Break, which is an 8v8 mode where it says you load into Point Break, you can find yourself as one of 8 attackers or defenders, each side with a clear goal. Attackers need to gain control of and destroy 9 grand vaults before running out of respawn tokens, while defenders aim to do the opposite. Deplete the attacker's coins and victory is yours, but be vigilant as they gain more coins for each phase they complete. So in a sort of nutshell here with this, it's kind of like Breakthrough from Battlefield, but with a finals twist on it here, where you do of course have to end up going for those vaults, destroying those as you go along, instead of just capturing 1 or 2 points. So you have 3 different checkpoints of these different grand vaults that you have to take down or defend, again depending on what side of the map you're on, with limited lives for the attackers and a time limit you have to fight against as well. This mode was a lot of fun. It was a different type of chaos, obviously being a bit more players than you'd normally expect with 16 total in the match, but 8v8 changed the dynamic a little bit here of this and what you'd maybe expect to see. So if you haven't tried this already, jump in, check it out, because it is a fun mode, but it's definitely different than what you may expect. One thing is not so much content and sort of like new content in a large scale, but more so some content but changing the fundamental structure of things is sponsor changes here with Season 9. This, you can now sign with any sponsor you'd like, and you can swap them at any time, so you're not locked in for the entire season like you were beforehand. This, they said the update is about giving you freedom, choice, and a reason to mix things up, and they're also adding loyalty tracks for the official sponsors of Season 9, but you can try a little bit of everything. You can try one singular one if you'd like, but it's something that there's a lot more options now as opposed to beforehand, which I think is definitely cool. And I do like the idea of being able to progress multiple tracks here if you'd like that. Like if you're a true grinder, you can tackle multiple of these, but at the same time, if you're just somebody that like, I like this one, but also halfway through, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, you're like, oh, I want to try something different, you have the opportunity to do so now. You're not locked in for the season, which Nice change, I think. There is a progression change where the World Tour is now your one-stop shop for all of your game modes. That's something you'll see in the mode selection when you go and check out whatever mode you're trying to play. But now your World Tour badges progress regardless of what you play, and as you advance, you learn stickers, charms, multi-bucks, and emerald rewards delivered to you at the start of next season, depending on how far you end up getting, where your efforts now all build on one track, making it a simpler progression system, which is definitely cool. Ranked rewards are still there, they're just separated out a little bit. You of course have a new battle pass that comes along with every single season, some cool rewards here in this one, but historically speaking, I personally don't get enough hands-on time throughout the season to really make it worthwhile, so I like to look at that stuff, but it's one of those things that I'm just like, cool from afar, and I don't really take part in. Quality of life changes, we had a few of these here where, again, one of the cool things with the finals and its long-standing life so far is that they've been able to make this a sort of dynamic experience, changing things over time, making it a better and progressively more stable and potentially, depending on who you ask, more enjoyable experience overall. From smaller things like the ability to opt into an instant replay, giving you a kill cam of sorts, to things like performance improvements, where this season they've reworked a lot of the physics meshes, back-end cleanup that reduces shader and state work during matches, GPU improvements for certain matches like Kyoto, physics being again optimized, vegetation being rebuilt for clarity, and even more still coming in the near future, where they say significant additional improvements to memory usage are coming out, which will reduce stutter on minimum and recommended specs, but will benefit everybody along with other things. Smooth destruction as an upgrade is something that expands that visuals you have. It's a major improvement for this season, where objects remain attached when structures come down, giving you more realistic destruction that also applies new ways to traverse and climb through rubble. I love the finals, but one of the things that from the very beginning, it was kind of some cartoony destruction at points where, like, it wasn't a bad thing, but the destruction on a grand scale was something that you could tell it was a game, whereas this, it tries to mimic a bit more of how physics would actually apply in those situations. So cool to see that kind of stuff, but again, a lot of stuff coming in the way of quality of life, trying to make this game still be something that 2 years in, going into year 3, whether you're a veteran that plays all the time or somebody that comes back from season over season, you can still look at the game and say, oh, that's a meaningful change that has been made. And that kind of stuff I think is a great target to have as developers. Obviously, there's a lot of balance changes here that are things to be accounted for, like snap aim adjustments for a various number of weapons, buffs and nerfs to gadgets and weaponry and stuff like that, and plenty of other things that you'll see scrolling on screen right now. But as somebody that, again, doesn't cover this game too meticulously, this could be something that is meaningful to you. But if you're just somebody learning about this game for either the first time or a reminder of, hey, check this game out and their new content, it is something that those specific details may not be as important to you. But overall, the thoughts on Season 9 and the finals here with this, I've said it a few times recently that we're kind of now like in the normal phase of the year once again for me and the content, the channel here. Personally, this was the busiest fall in the channel's history, covering 4 launches between Battlefield 6, RedSec, Arc Raiders, and then Black Ops 7 has now subsided. So I'm happy to be back playing more games regularly and games that like I actually really enjoy wholly. Like, the weird conundrum with content paying the bills is that sometimes playing games does feel like a job. Like, sometimes I'd rather be playing, I don't know, Arc Raiders instead of grinding out some stuff for Black Ops 7 during that launch. But now that I'm back to sort of, I can cover what is needed at the pace that I want instead of a launch rush trying to do everything all at once, it's nice to play other games again. In fact, this week I think that when all is said and done, we'll have had 6 games covered on the channel in a week's time. Arc Raiders, Delta Force, Battlefield 6, the finals today, likely a Black Ops 7 or COD discussion video of some kind for the franchise news there tomorrow, and PUBG Black Budget, that's tentatively scheduled for Friday as their closed alpha starts that day as well. So some solid variation in content that I'm stoked for, but with the finals in particular, I still love this game. I unfortunately do not get the chance to keep up with it nearly as much as I'd like, and not nearly as much to keep myself considered as a good player at the game. Like, man, am I awful at times, but at least I have fun while doing it. Like, that to me is the biggest thing here, and one of the things that I like to try and focus on the last year or 2 or 3 here on the channel is that, like, I just want to cover and talk about games that I find enjoyable. If I'm not enjoying them, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to give it the time of day. Like, gaming should be one of those things that's fun for everybody, right? Like, that's the whole purpose. But anyways, back to it. That's what I love about the game. It's consistently fun to me. You have a game that does not take itself too seriously, like in the most endearing way to say that is possible. Like, I'm not saying that like it's a game's not that great, but like it doesn't take itself seriously, so it's okay. I mean, like, more so in the way of like the game is itself a game in a game show for the game's lore. So like, it's quite literally anything goes if they wanted to. They can have as much fun with it. They can be as crazy as they want with it because in the game's lore, it's truly an over-the-top game show. But with the visuals of the game, the art direction, the abilities and destruction mixed with the game modes that honestly are rather unique kind of spins on things. Like the whole premise of, at its core, a 3v3v3 shooter fighting over cash outs is a really unique twist on core gameplay loops that have been done before. So while I do wish that I've been able to jump in and keep up with the game the last few seasons here during my busy seasons, I'm happy to have the time now to jump into Season 9 to kick off Year 3 of the game's life. Without sounding like a fanboy, but hard to do because I'm just enjoying both Arc Raiders and the finals so much, kudos to Embark for both games and their simultaneous success. Like, I think the finals, while not the explosive commercial success that you'd see in player numbers or games that like have the brand recognition of COD or Battlefield or other AAA titles like that, a new IP like this, with frankly minimal marketing historically speaking, the fact that it's still thriving and innovating on itself is a huge testament going into Year 3 as to how good the game experience is. So while Season 9 in some capacity didn't offer like the most in terms of quantity for content with the update, and while we did see some quality of life changes that are still promised coming down the line, I think this is a very solid foundational update that we can see going into Year 3 for the finals, which I'm very much so excited to see where Embark takes this game and what the community can do to continue to grow and hopefully have a good time every step of the way. But for now, just want to take a little bit of time to talk about Season 9 with its launch here today for the finals, and just continue to keep the variety coming here on the channel for games that I'm enjoying that maybe you guys will as well. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the finals? You like what you see out of Season 9? You're going to jump in, check it out for yourself? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. If you guys enjoyed the video though, you found it out all insightful, do me a favor, drop a like on it. Of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things the finals and even more FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care and peace.